Let me tell you how I come to be here at this conference. It's actually something which started about 2 years back when I met with your President Igor Remerenko at a conference in Helsinki. And he is part of an international consortium of academicians, researchers, who were putting together a project on 21st century skills and 21st century literacies, key competencies and literacies for the 21st century. And the World Bank was also invited to be part of this group, and I was one of the people given the responsibility for this. When we started discussing about the different approaches to literacy, what different countries are doing, we decided to take a particular topic, which is the idea of children coding and learning computational thinking. And so it was initially going to be just a chapter in a book of which Igor is one of the co-authors, but eventually we became so interested and there was so much of data and so much of information that we decided that we will have our own book, and that's what I was presenting at our talk. You know, we are very much interested in supporting the idea of digital competencies for children, and so big data is only one part of it. Before children learn to interact with big data, they need to understand small data, and they need to be, most importantly, actually the thing is, it's not so much the children who are already curious and quite smart, it is the teachers that need to learn from the students. So we are very keen to support how in the Russian Federation the education systems can incorporate children learning coding, children learning computational thinking, mostly through extracurricular education. So we are working with different regional governments and with federal government about this idea of improving and strengthening extracurricular education. There is an objective which is mentioned by the President of the Russian Federation of Russia being amongst the top 10 education performing countries. And that's an ambitious and attainable goal. The question is, how can that goal be attained? And if you study these things, one of the ways in which you can reach a goal like that is when you build on your strengths, something for which you already have a comparative advantage. And we feel that extracurricular education, which is very strong in Russia because of a very long history which comes from the Soviet period when, for different reasons, extracurricular education was promoted by the government. But even now, the amount of expenditure that the Russian government makes in that, the energy, the importance given to that is unparalleled in any other country. So I feel that this could be an engine to drive Russian education into a leadership position. I think it's a great conference. I think it's wonderful to see such a mix of people, not just academics or not just intellectuals, but also children, families, teachers. It's a great event. And thanks to Igor for inviting me.